in case you didn't know, I am going on tour this summer. Go to mcchris.com and check out all my tour dates. Over 45 shows. We're coming to your town, or we're not coming to your town. Please let me know if I'm not coming to your town in the comments on any place you see this podcast. Let me know where we should go. If I have a day off and you'd like to book a show with me, write me at mcchrisbooking@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you'd like to just come see a show and celebrate 20 years of touring with me, go to mcchris.com and get your tickets today. Okay, let's start the podcast. Mainly it's penises, though. It's all penises.
Yeah, a lot of dicks. A lot of green room dicks. That'd be a good thing to collect pictures of. Put on your Instagram or something.
Yeah.
You know, be like Indianapolis, Indiana. Oh, here's a spiky one from Columbus, Ohio.
Spiky one.
Yeah, you know, all the varieties. Here's the loud and proud from...
No vaginas.
Yeah. Oh, well, just lines. It's like a couple vertical lines.
Still, you can get it. That should be a reason to make, to draw it, because it's easy.
No vagina rule.
Everybody who's about to which genitals should I draw? The penis or the vagina? And they're like, well, the vagina's too easy. I need a challenge. Draw a penis.
I should sell all that stuff, right? I mean, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Let me interrupt you. Once you get rid of something, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Ever again. And maybe once, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't miss that at all. So it really was serving no purpose, and it doesn't bring you any pain once it's gone.
Yeah. There's a couple things I have gotten rid of that did bring me pain. I got rid of a Disneyland Paris Space Mountain outfit. I wish I would have kept.
Yeah.
And I got rid of both pairs of my Aqua Teen Hunger Force shoes. The sneakers that were like the Moonanite sneakers. Because I thought, I could sell, I saw them on eBay and somebody was buying them for like $300. I was like, I got to get rid of those too. And now every time I see Carrie, he wears his raggedy ass pair because it's like 25 years old at this point. And I'm like,
because he needs shoes.
I should have kept those shoes. They were great. It would be one of those things. If I make it big, I'll be rebuying my mistakes.
It's like when you're sick and you're like, oh, I feel so horrible. If I could if this feeling would just go away, or this pain in my head would just go away.
Yeah, right.
And then it goes away, and you're like, you're not even thinking about the fact that you were sick. Like the day you stop being sick, you don't realize it.
Unless you're real sick.
Well, I mean, that's how it is with me, because like I'll be
3 days
how
sick you were.
I'll be sick for a week, just like waiting, looking at the clock, being like, "Is it over yet?" And then it'll be gone. Because I don't know what it's like when a virus goes through you, but a virus is like on tour. It like starts here, goes here, goes back into the throat, goes into my lungs, and I can't breathe. And then it becomes phlegm. Then it gets expelled, and then it's done. And then like one day I'll just then all of a sudden I'll have a thought. I'd be like, I'm not sick anymore. And you hadn't thought about it all morning or something. You were just back to normal.
Do you are you prone to viruses?
No, because I mean, this is disgusting, but I'll fess up. I didn't really wash my hands before COVID.
Oh.
And I shook everyone's hands on tour without washing my hands.
Did you let me ask you, stop right there.
What?
Did you wash your hands after you went to the bathroom?
No.
What?
No.
What's the matter with you?
I have these dry hands, and so if I'd wash my hands, my hands would get so dry, I actually hated water. I didn't like water.
So you went to bathroom.
Went to bathroom.
Touched your penis.
Touched my disgusting penis.
Probably pee was getting on there.
What is up with the penis? So if you touch your penis for just a second, you're contaminated? I mean, I wash my hands now every single time.
So you know.
But there was a time where I was just like, not that big of a deal. But the way what I tell myself is, do I want to touch someone else's penis hands?
Right. No,
I don't.
And there's pee on them because it's called splashback. So there's urine on your hands. And don't listen to those certified health nut guy who probably says it's the most sterile liquid on earth.
It's that guy.
I don't want to touch people sweaty, dirty. In the same way I wouldn't want to touch, the flap under their belly if they put their hand under there. I wouldn't want to touch them. It's not just because it's a penis and they didn't wash their hands. Anywhere of their nooks and crannies, I would hope they would wash their hands.
So you think every time you're touching someone's hands that it's pristine?
No.
Every time you shake someone's hand, like
that's
at a con.
That's the point of shaking hands.
So at a con, you're shaking all these hands. Do you immediately give me the, what's it called? I can never think of it.
The Purell.
Give me the Purell fast.
No, but I will.
Because I feel like that's insulting. You put some Purell on right after a handshake.
After a session at the table, if I go back to the green room, then I immediately do it when I go back to the green room before I touch any of the food, or I'll go wash my hands before I put anything in my mouth.
Before you start fingering the sandwiches.
That's right. Cusack style. Before I start Cusacking the green room sandwiches, I'm putting my finger in between the lunch meats to see how.
Well, I didn't shower. I didn't shower either. I mean, I would shower. There's this punk rock song by NoFX called and it was called Shower Days. It's about taking showers on Wednesdays and Saturdays and how you hated those days because those were shower days. Now I feel.
You take a shower every day?
Every day, because I work out. I mean,
oh yeah.
And then after the workout, I I want to feel that clean feeling. I'm addicted to that clean feeling you feel after a shower. If I'm feeling like a little down the dumps, I'll be like, a shower will make me feel like a new man.
That's true.
That's where I'm at right now in my life. But there was a time because I was high, and I think it really affected my ability to be motivated to do things.
Mm-hmm. A shower is very motivating.
Well,
even when you're sick,
just
it
to
feels
get in
good
there,
to take a shower.
Just to get in there was a difficult thing. Like I didn't, I was kind of like a Ramones. I wasn't changing my clothes. I wasn't doing hygiene. I wasn't brushing my teeth. Yeah. And
I remember
I was a mess.
I don't know why this always struck with me. I went to this diner. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's over by Baroni's and stuff. It's a great little place. But there was like a mom and a son, and the son probably was out of college, but she had come to visit him, and they were having just this really open, amiable, candid discussion about his life. And he was saying, I'm just a little bit depressed because, I'm just not getting work like I thought I would. I don't know if he was an actor or what, but he was like, it just so open. And I remember him saying, she goes, well, how's that affecting you? He's like, well, my hygiene's going down. Like, I just kind of don't want to brush my teeth and I'm not taking showers. And he didn't look like a animal. I mean, but I was
you can get away with it.
But I remember just being so nosy. I was like, I don't know why this is
fascinating
to me. It's just this very simple, calm, open conversation with the son and his mother. Probably because I would never talk to my mother like that or something. I don't know.
But you've been a normal guy your whole life. You've been showering and washing your hands your whole life without fail.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go several days without a shower if I haven't taken a run. Because there's nothing worse than going on a run the next day and then you reactivate all the stink that you had the first day.
My stink is so random. It'll if I shower, I will for some reason have started stinking by the end of the day. And I'll be like, what?
You got a lot of worries.
Because I'm
comes out
I'm
your
sweating.
Pores. That's
I'm literally
stink.
sweating the small
Anxiety
stuff.
stink. Yes.
You remember when they made you shower in junior high? Did they do that?
No.
They did that to us.
We didn't have to do that. We had a freshman in high school. We had to change into gym clothes, but that was as far as it got.
No. They were always like, everybody shower.
We had a shower room.
If you don't shower, you will get ostracized.
Yeah, we had a shower room, and I do remember the first time going in there was like, what the fuck? This is not, oh no.
Yeah. And we had this coach who I loved because he would carry me on his back when I had asthma. He would carry me into the school.
Whoa.
I mean, obviously that's a little sus right there.
Yeah,
But he would. But I remember me. I loved hanging out with adults. I loved like being in like if there was like a teacher had an office. I loved being in there.
Mhm.
And the gym teacher had an office. I remember one day he explained to me how Billy Joel recorded his voice several times to do the song "Longest Time," and he explained like multi-track recording. I remember him drawing a picture of what multi-track recording was.
Turns out it was a penis he was drawing. You like these? Huh? You know what I mean?
But he did this thing after we showered where he would dangle the towel and make you jump for the towel.
Yeah, this is all real suspect.
I mean, all teachers in the 80s were pedophiles, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think this is more an individual experience.
Well, I don't know.
When you said earlier when you were like, I was the
weird
only
memories
guy.
for all of these people.
Yeah. Our school, our Coach Washington was our PE coach, and it looked like he probably played a sport a very long time ago, but he was awesome. But then halfway through our freshman year, because I went to a big high school, and there were lots of gangs at my high school, we suddenly had like real life 21 Jump Street undercover cops, but they became all of the PE teachers. So our real PE teachers were there. Coach Washi was there, but he was just in his office. And then there'd be these other, we were like, all of a sudden, like day one was like, who the fuck are these guys? Who like, I'm Coach Tom or whatever their names were. And then by like after lunch, whoever was actually in the know, probably the gang kids were like, those are undercover cops. They're trying to get some lowdown on what's going down.
I bet they couldn't help but be cops, and they'd be like, any questions? And then somebody would be like, do we have to climb the rope? And they're like, you have the right to remain silent.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was wildly obvious. Once it was pointed out to us, it was wildly obvious who they were, and they were there for like 2 weeks. Experiment was over, and then they left as quickly as they came.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't just one guy, it was like 5 guys.
5 new gym teachers showed up one day.
5 new gym teachers, of which
they're
normally
all dressed like cops.
And normally we only had 2 gym teachers. So the fact that there was suddenly like, is this like an apprentice program and they're grown men. They weren't,
I was always manipulating gym teachers, using my asthma.
Oh.
As an excuse to get out of gym.
Could you carry me on your back, please?
Can I rub my genitals on your back?
Well, okay, but we're going to have to take our shirts off first. Oh, thank you. I don't
do you remember there were kids in gym who would just be sitting out every day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was me.
I did not sit out. But I also think I think at my high school you had to take gym freshman year. I feel like by the time I was a sophomore,
Jesus,
we did not have to take gym.
We would take it every year. By the end, it was like co-ed, and we're all playing pickleball and stuff. It was way more fun.
Yeah,
it was fun by the end, but in the beginning, it was all kind of hell.
I can't remember if it was. I feel like we had to have been co-ed.
I love the nurse's office. I would go. The nurse would call my mom and be like, "He's here every day." And because I would come in after recess and I'd be like, I'm dying of asthma. I'm having an asthma attack. And then they would let me sit down. And basically I would socialize. Like I said, I liked adults. I liked being in their offices. I liked just talking to them. And because I was intelligent and funny.
You're like at a cocktail party.
Yeah. And I wasn't, but I, not really liked by kids.
Right.
But adults were always like.
Because you're getting carried around by the PE coach. I don't have to walk.
And I'm going to drop you off here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be in the nurse's office every day. And eventually they called my mom. And I remember my mom was a nurse. And one day she was like the backup nurse. And I actually was
at your school?
Yeah. And I actually threw up.
How did that happen?
On my pants.
How did it happen that she got called into
She was a nurse. She was a nurse. And she was like
a
substitute nurse. Yeah.
Wow.
And I actually threw up on myself
She's like, okay.
Went down to my mom. Went
this
down to
is
my
legit.
mom. Went down to my mom's into the nurse's office where my mom was, and she was like, "Clean yourself up and get the fuck back to class."
If you throw up on these pants one more time,
This is my day. Where I get to pretend to be a nurse.
That's right.
You've ruined my life.
I am here to steal aspirin and cotton balls, and you are really interrupting me.
I've got a hand full of Q-tips.
Put these in your bag, quick.
But she sent me away. She sent me away, and she did not want to take care of me, and I was actually sick.
Well, you know,
I was definitely like a cry wolf thing where I had cried wolf so many times, and then when I finally needed medical care, they were like, "Get back to class."
But was this like a little throw up?
What's a little throw up? If you throw up, you get to go home. There's no little throw up.
There's little throw ups. There's a difference between.
I burped yesterday. A little throw up came up into my mouth.
Did you go home?
I was home.
Oh, well, there you go.
I sent myself home.
Yeah.
I don't like it when that happens. Just
Yeah.
random vomit.
Did you say you got reflux? You got acid reflux?
Yeah.
I know
I got the colonoscopy and the endoscopy, and then they said, before I did it, I was like, I think I have acid reflux. Then they did it to me, $9,000 operation, and then they don't say anything back to me. They don't say, hey, you got this, you got that, and then I had to send them a message on the app. I'm like, hey, what about my acid reflux? Guess what he wrote back? You've got acid reflux.
Oh. So basically what? Like,
so nothing happened.
Did he give you a prescription for Tums or something?
No, he didn't even do that. And they would probably just say, change your diet, stop being an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do for it?
No more hot sauce.
What gives you acid reflux?
Well, I noticed that when I diet, I don't have it.
When you diet?
If I don't eat sugar and I don't eat fast food, and I don't eat, basically those two things, but like hot sauce. But I mean, even when I'm dieting, I'll have hot sauce and I won't have acid reflux. But if I've eaten too late in the day,
interesting,
or I'm just eating bad food. But if I'm eating salads and omelets and smoothies and juices, no acid reflux.
What does it feel like when you have acid reflux?
Heartburn. My heart is on fire. And it especially is bothersome when you sleep. Because you can only sleep on your left side. Can't sleep on your back, can't sleep on your right side.
Why not your right side? I love sleeping on my right side. It's my favorite side to sleep on.
I like sleeping on the left side because you kind of cuddle the pillows.
Now I know which side of the bed you sleep on.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite side of the bed. We could share a bed and have no...
Well, I'm actually sleeping on my couch right now.
Okay.
Because my bedroom is so old.
How old is it?
That the cold wind just comes in through the window and just kind of, it's like a ghost kind of
I love that.
Sinks into the room.
I love that. That's my favorite thing. I love it.
No. Well, it's, in California it gets cold.
Yeah. I know,
and your whole body changes its ability to recognize what weather is.
There's this new bed technology called blankets.
I will use the blankets,
but not enough.
And I will double up and triple up the blankets. But during the winter, I switch to the couch. And now that it's getting warmer, I'm like, it's time to go back to the bed. But I'm a little sad about this because I like the couch and this couch has got to go. Every day I feel like I got to get a new couch and I don't know how to buy one. But
treat yourself.
I know.
Is it a fabric or a leather couch?
It's an old, it's just a gray fabric couch.
Fabric, yeah. See, I will never get a fabric couch.
What do you do, leather?
Because you can clean it. I feel like it's even if it's not, I feel like by the nature of it, it's cleaner.
It's not leather doesn't feel cuddly to me. It feels like I am a madman and I need to have my leather couch. But, I think it's because I'm alone and I like facing the pillows.
Oh, you like with your back to the front of the couch.
Back to the front of the couch, and I'm facing the couch, and I'm kind of enjoying the pillows. Not like not sexually.
Yeah, not like that gym teacher.
I like to throw one arm over the pillow.
Over the top.
And tell it how my day was.
Yeah. Well,
talk about my worries. But so now it's time to get a new couch. It's also time to move back to the bed. I don't like it.
What's keeping you from getting a new couch?
I tell you what, buying a couch is impossible.
No.
Because there's no good showrooms in the Valley. And that's where I would need to buy a couch.
There's 3 furniture stores.
My thing is that I'm always and the internet knows I want a couch. And I hate it when the internet figures something out.
There's 3 furniture stores in Burbank. There's the Rooms and More.
You can tell me
on Van Nuys.
Okay, you can tell me about them.
Yeah, I'm telling you about them. These are massive showrooms. You could park a 757 in these places.
You done?
Well,
you sound like you're going to do 3.
No, say they're humongous.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have been saying to myself, it's going to be like after tour, I will get a couch. Meaning
after this upcoming summer.
Yes. So I'll deal with 2 more months of being uncomfortable because this couch has got a dip in the middle. So everything falls into the dip.
How old is the couch?
10 years old.
Okay.
It's ready.
Yeah. I got to get my couch recovered.
That's what we used to do growing up. They would recover the couch and it would come back and it'd be amazing.
Yeah. The problem is I think to get this thing recovered, it's going to cost almost exactly how much it cost in the first place, which wasn't cheap. Because we had dogs. They kind of like scratched up the butt cushions. The back cushions are fine. The couch itself is fine, but the seat cushions definitely need to be recovered.
Yeah, it's been stressful. The internet knows I want a couch. It keeps on showing me different couch companies, Joybird and
those ones.
All these like
they're interesting,
fancy couches, and then you go look, and the price isn't that bad, but it's just like you don't know. I mean, it's so scary to buy something from an online entity. You want to go to a showroom. Yeah.
Things you don't want to buy sight unseen are
I want to sit on the couch,
sit and lay on, or like a chef's knife. I don't want to just. You got to hold it in your hand, see what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the couch or a chair. I want to sit in it. I want to know what it feels like because I'm going to be sitting in this thing a lot.
I got a bunch of new knives. I wanted to get them dishwasher safe because I don't like this idea that you can't wash your knives. So I put them in the dishwasher, and then they come out. They're covered in spots, and I just think we have bad water. I think it's like hard water or whatever. It's rusty
what's that weird little spray stuff?
Yeah.
That you add to it.
And I do.
Oh,
I poured that little blue stuff in the dishwasher, and it's like a horrible bottle because it just spills all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not like a precise spot.
What do they call it?
Finish,
right?
And
I think we have one that it has a little. It's like those plasticky packs.
That's for detergent.
Yes, but it has a little.
But it has another thing that you fill up. It has a
little red it has a little red in the middle. That's the finish. It has it built into the.
Oh well, that
dishwasher.
Whatever it is, I still have dots on my. The car wash gives my car dots. The dishwasher gives my plates and my silverware dots. If not rust, I take my Cascade
powder.
Do you have a thing where you use what your parents used? Do you do any products? Yes. I have to have Old Spice. I have to have Green Polo cologne. I have to use Cascade. These are all things that my mother and my dad used.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's like I'm so tied to these smells.
Yeah.
And I know it's all probably horrible and
at a certain
carcinogenic.
Point, our cleaning lady started using Pine Sol.
Mm.
And it brought a floodgate of memories back because I didn't realize that's what my mom used. And probably everybody used it when I was little.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I went in one day, I was like, oh.
Mama.
Pine Sol smell.
Yeah.
And now I love it. Like, please, let's only use no more Fabuloso. That was what she was using before. Yeah. And I don't even know what the hell you use it for. I guess you wash the floor. Or I don't know what she's cleaning with it. She's cleaning something. Pine Sol.
Yeah.
That strikes me like a product that's
burn your skin right off
since the 1910s.
Yeah.
Like
Sears and Roebuck.
Smells like a forest.
somebody dies and they're like, well, we could use this acid to clean floors.
Pour that Pine Sol over the body to strip it of its flesh.
What are your soaps and your shampoos?
I have to use Dove, like the one that's
love
like
Dove.
I do too, but I have to use the one that's like nothing, no scent.
Are you using a bar or are you using the body wash?
I have both. Somehow, I miscalculated the Amazon subscription thing once. And every time another box would arrive of another 6 bars, I would say, God, I got to stop the subscription.
Don't do the subscriptions.
And then I'm not kidding you. I think I have 100 bars of Dove soap, which, they don't go bad. But Jesus, they
Can
take
you
up
admit
a lot
that
of
you're a
room.
hoarder?
I finally stopped the subscriptions.
Because I'm a picky eater. And what else did you say about me? I don't know what else. You've said a couple of...
You've said it about you.
I have a couple foibles, couple
You
flaws.
sweat the small stuff.
I sweat the small stuff. I'm a picky eater. I'm a worrywart. But you don't have any flaws.
Flawless.
Flawless.
Look at me.
How is that? You don't think
Just lucky, I guess.
you don't dwell on any things that you can improve upon?
I could improve upon everything.
Okay, thank God.
But the soap, they're like 2 whole drawers of just bars of soap.
I had a friend in high school and she was like, use this soap. Take it home with you. You got dry skin.
What
I was
kind
like, it's girl soap. I don't want to use this girl soap. It was Dove. It was just a bar of Dove.
and
all soap gives me a bad feeling, like a film or something happens if I use the wrong soap. Like my dad used Irish Spring. You use Irish Spring, it like kind of covers your whole body in plastic, and I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm too obsessive to deal with a bad feeling on my skin. So I need to have, whatever Dove had. It was like the only thing I could actually use.
Yeah.
And then body wash happened, and it all kind of went away. But
I
a
don't
bar
know
of Dove worked.
if you stayed at that retro hotel at Universal Orlando. I think it's something
The
Bay,
Hotel California.
Castaway Bay, or
Oh yeah.
the toiletries in there are Zest shampoo, as in you're not fully clean unless you're Zest fully clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Dial soap,
Damn.
which they purposefully did because it's retro and
And what's in the fridge?
and it's
Tab.
the little mini. It's like the little mini bottles, of the shampoo and the thing. It's like such a great touch.
Hotels are so bad at shampoo and soap.
Even
Disney.
I get why they do what they do now. You just have those gross bottles
In the shower.
It makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's better for the environment.
It's better for everything.
But I mean, I hate it when you get the Crabtree and Evelyn or something, and it just smells horrible, and you're stuck with a bad smell all day. But you can't take your stuff on the airplane with you because it's too much liquid, or you buy a travel size bottle and it doesn't squeeze right or whatever.
Do you bring your own toiletries?
On tour, I do, but not on one-offs. Because it's like too much of a hassle.
I always bring a bar of soap. I got a little Matador. There's this company.
You got enough
Matador.
soap. You can like.
They make
soap.
little toiletry things, but it's like a little bag. It's like a little wet bag,
Yeah.
But it's miniature size, so it fits the bar of soap. And I like that because if I use too crazy of a soap, sometimes my skin will react with it.
I save the toiletries from a Disney hotel. And then they're just sitting in my medicine cabinet, and I have like a shower cap, something I'm never going to use.
I have all of them, but I have them more as like in my storage, not in the bathroom. Because if anybody used them, I would be furious.
Dang, that's a
that
is a flaw. That's a flaw. That's a flaw.
I like it's like a collectible of it.
Yeah,
that I like. Yeah. I don't care about the stuff that's in it. It's the bottle and the...
I like seeing the Disney logo on a box.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up. There's a shower cap inside. I'll never know. It could be anything in there.
Yeah, whatever's in that toiletry kit,
I just like the box. And then you arrive in the hotel room and you're like, oh, look what they've done for me.
Mm-hmm.
Look how they've made this so nice for me.
I have a friend who grew up in Florida. He lives there. His parents were chemists. Both of them are no longer with us. But his parents owned a chemical company of whatever.
There was a huge explosion.
Well,
they both died. They
made all the shampoo and soap and that stuff for the Disney hotels for like the first, before Disney started getting their own brands, which was longer than you'd think, like something like into the 90s or something like that. They were making like the Walt Disney World formula for shampoo and conditioner and lotion. I mean, what a racket. What a racket.
That they would make when they made love.
Get locked in. No love making.
They didn't. They had a loveless marriage. That's one thing we don't talk about.
That's right. They were married to their shampoo recipes.
What if we poured some of this on our bodies?
Yes, we can do that in separate room. I think, man.
Are you covered? I'm covered.
Let's do it.
Hey, so this is MC. If you'd like to advertise on our podcast, please write us at mattersnotpod@gmail.com. We also have a GoFundMe. All of that can be found on our Linktree, linktr.ee/mattersnotpod. Please make a donation. Help me pay for Dana's beverages. Help us pay for studio time and the art. And if we make enough money, we can hopefully start doing video and do all kinds of cool things. Please support us if you can, or advertise on our podcast by writing us at mattersnotpod, mattersnotpod @gmail.com. Yeah, I'm really specific about all my soaps and
I mean, everybody.
You know what I've gotten into recently? Candles. I used to have a thing about I couldn't have candles around me because I was so afraid of fire. My mother's house burned down when she was little. She'd tell stories about it all the time. But then when I worked at C-Lab in New York City, there was one morning, we were working away, and I'm like making sure all the uniforms match color, and boom, 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 fire.
Whoa. And
Matt and Adam, who were very, alpha males, jumped into action, went upstairs, saw, I think Adam opened the door and just flames burst out of the door.
What kind of building was this in?
It was right above a FedEx, 3 stories.
Like a brownstone kind of thing? Or
I don't know what you'd call it, a New York building. And
but not a skyscraper.
27th and 7th.
Okay.
And not a skyscraper, 3 stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the building was on fire. And
top floor was on fire?
Top floor was on fire. The lady had lit some incense and fell asleep. Matt said to me, grab the drives. And get out. And then I walked down the stairs and I couldn't leave the apartment because the firemen were already there and they were breaking glass. So it was just raining glass at the exit of the building.
Oh, you couldn't.
I couldn't leave the building. There was a waterfall of glass.
Right. Wow.
And then, I finally got out. And so it was just me and the drives in a Greek diner. And, nothing happened to our level, which was the second level. I think they had the whole level. And, but the lady upstairs, Adam, being chivalrous, was like, you can stay with us till you get it all figured out. He was like a Southern gentleman. And she sat down and promptly started doing a Pink Floyd arrangement of all of her possessions on a coffee table. Which immediately keyed us all into the fact that she was insane.
Oh, what is the Pink Floyd?
There's a scene in Pink Floyd where he in the movie The Wall where he shaves off his eyebrows and then proceeds to make a mosaic of tiny items on the carpet.
Whoa!
He's just it's just a crazy Pink Floyd. I don't know what.
Is that a movie with a story?
I don't know, man. It's like one of those weird things you saw in the 80s, kind of like Monty Python's Holy Grail, where it was kind of like you were watching television. And it was more like a collage of different things. And if you were smart enough or high enough, you could piece it together.
And it's all just with their songs, right?
Yeah.
Like, for lack of a giant music video.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it would have, I think there was a plot. And but everyone was so fucked up that it was like it was made up by people who were fucked up, and it was for people who were fucked up, and everyone else is kind of like, what the fuck's going on?
Isn't the Pink Floyd The Wall the one that they say you can play to the Wizard of Oz, or is that a different album?
Yeah, we did that in college. We did that in college. Or no, that might be Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh,
not
yeah,
The
that
Wall.
sounds right. That's also Pink Floyd, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And we would match those up and get high and be like, oh,
like,
yeah, it works. But I mean, you do that with any two things, you're going to have moments where you're like, they're going to line up, and and there's going to be times where it doesn't
The greatest
line up.
hits of John Philip Sousa will match up with the Wizard of Oz at some point.
The Electric Light Parade.
And wasn't it like, there's some, I mean, it's not this, but like, when the tree touches his eyebrow is when you start the album.
Yeah.
Some weird, like, it's not right at the beginning. You got to, like, figure out.
Did you used to watch Wizard of Oz when it would air on CBS?
Every time.
It was like an event.
Yeah. I mean,
of course, I was watching it. I was watching it alone because nobody.
Where was your family?
I had high estrogen counts, so I was.
Oh, they didn't want to watch it.
No, it wasn't a Bears game. So, but yeah, I would be watching it. Maybe my mom would join me, but I loved it because it would air annually.
Yeah, it was like either Easter
something, but it aired like the same time every year.
Every year,
and the only time you'd see it because you'd never need to rent it because it would come on.
It was a seasonal. It was a seasonal showing.
And then there was that. Then you got a little older, and someone's like, "There's a guy who hangs himself."
Oh yeah, you can see the body.
You can see the body swinging in the background.
Like, all right, he was.
Then you get a little older, and you're like, "The witch got cancer from that smoke."
Right. Yeah. Right.
And then you get a little bit older, and you find out Judy Garland was
drunk.
She was a drunk, and she was making tape recordings about how everyone was a Nazi at the end of her life.
Is that real?
Yeah, I've heard that recording.
She made recordings?
She'd get wasted and record herself.
Ooh, I bet those are good.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's what you're going to do for the rest of your day today. But yeah, poor Judy Garland, she went through that whole, I mean, she's like, that's what Hollywood creates. Yeah. And this is one thing we were talking about, like getting older or young hot people becoming old people that you can't recognize. And it's something, if you think about like your own fame and if it's fading, I mean, it's nothing compared to what these great, amazing people went through. I mean, like Mickey Rooney was getting elder abuse, just getting shoved down the stairs at the end of his life.
I mean, but you look at those, the last photos of Judy Garland, she was only like 43 years old, and she looked like she was 69 years old at least.
My brain is dead. I can't think of it. Not Nina Simone. Billie Holiday. Oh. At the end of her life. Yeah. She's like younger than me. Yeah. She looks 80 years old.
Most people are younger than us.
Yeah. But she looks younger than me. She looks like she's in her mid-40s. I mean, she was in her mid-40s. But she looked like so old because of the heroin and the cigarettes and the alcohol.
Every single night. Like, that's the thing. It's not like a Friday night. No. Every night was Friday night.
Yeah.
When you're Billie Holiday. That's the same with Judy Garland. She'd just drink. But then, like, when she was a kid,
the more you find out about her, you don't blame her.
She's like 13 years old and is like, hey, little Judy, why don't you take this pill and do that scene a little better with the munchkins?
Do this. Now let me molest you. Yeah. Now take this.
Every day they'd give her uppers in the morning and downers in the evening so she could go to sleep.
You know what I hate? I hate seeing like a movie in the 60s or Fred Astaire at the Oscars or something when they're just like, I'm still cool and watch me dance to like this 60s music. Or Judy Garland will be in a movie and she's like, I can still dance, watch me dance. And so she'll be dancing, but you can tell she's drunk.
Oh, yeah. All those variety shows.
I hate it when it's not the heyday. Anything like past the heyday when it gets into the beach blanket bingo era where they're like, movies are becoming something else. It's ruled by youth culture, and actually all you people from like the golden era of film are actually completely irrelevant now.
Oh yeah, where they were scrambling.
Buster Keaton is like in these movies.
Yeah.
And he must be thinking to himself, like, kill me now.
And none of the young cool people, because it was all about no long bucking the studio system. Like those people, like, fuck you! I don't go to work at MGM. What am I going to wear a tuxedo and dance on top of a big silver top hat? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
I'm making Easy Rider over here, bitches.
Yeah.
They're like, the studio's like, oh, what do we do? I don't know.
That's not what we're used to. And then it makes a ton of money. And they're like, okay, let's do 1 million Easy Riders.
All right, American Graffiti. Yeah, then
I listened to this huge history of Hollywood audiobook while I would do my hike. And I love this whole era. And it really kind of made me feel like LA is in a state of perpetual freaking out. Where it's just like, oh, what do we do? 3D. What do we do? CinemaScope. What do we do? Sound. It's like every year, every 10 years, they're like, oh fuck, everything's fucked. We're gonna lose it. And like now, it's kind of Hollywood's going through this thing now where they're like, all the productions going other places. Streaming has happened. There's been all these strikes. There's all this like stuff that's like destroying this whole industry. But like, when Lucas and Spielberg showed up, they had no idea what the future held or what was going on. And these were guys who were just like, came out of film school. They loved Akira Kurosawa. And
although what's weird about now is, well, streaming is ridiculous, but like losing all the production could be a irreparable thing.
Yeah, you might be right.
I mean, look how many things they do in just Atlanta now. And that's not going to go away unless they make some terrible mistakes in Atlanta to get people who don't want to shoot things there anymore.
Yeah.
But on a side note, I don't understand why California and LA is not working harder to get productions to stay here.
The question is like, how will this affect animation? Because if there's one thing I've seen on like Twitter, it's 1 million animators out of work.
Mm-hmm.
And they all are like, what do? I spend my whole life like leading up to this moment where I make cartoons and I just got fired and now I haven't had a job in 2 years and I don't know. I'm starting to think like maybe I should do something else. And so there's this whole, and it's funny to think when Bugs Bunny was made or Mickey Mouse was made or Snow White was made or something, like legions, armies of people were required to make these things. Now, I mean, when we made C-Lab, it was a staff of 4. I know that company has bloomed because of Archer, has become this big giant thing. But in LA, though, I mean, layoffs are rampant, and you just don't know where it's all going.
Well, even still, think about at whatever point they started like shipping animation to Korea when it was.
Isn't Rick and Morty done in Ireland?
Probably.
It's like what's made here? What is actually done here?
Yeah.
I know the nice thing is that writing isn't going anywhere. It doesn't seem like writing is going to another place. This is where writing happens. This is where deals happen and writing happens.
I feel like that's because this is where all the executives live. If the executives decided we should all move to Michigan,
then you would have
all the writers.
Then it would become
living,
a Dust Bowl.
Yes,
it would become a Mad Max apocalyptic
this would go
world.
Back to orange groves and.
Right now in my neighborhood, there's all this construction. It's like there's all this building. So I'm like, well, things can't be going that bad if they're building houses and tearing down things and building new things. And I mean, I always see that as a sign of good things are happening. And
construction.
I tell myself like, oh, by the time I get back from tour, this is not going to be recognizable. And when I leave this town and come back 5 years from now, it's going to be totally unrecognizable. Like things only get better. For either my hometown or let's say the Brooklyn neighborhood I lived in. You leave, you come back, and you're like, oh, and this place has totally been revamped and reconstructed, and now it's huge and expensive and
better.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I always enter neighborhoods when I'm like the guy gentrifying the neighborhood. I'm moving into a Latin neighborhood in Jersey City or something, and it's like it's Latin.
Forcing them out.
I know for forcing them out, but we're definitely the harbinger of doom.
Well, yeah.
Same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, but we're just people out of college trying to look for someplace cheap. We're not rich. We're not rich people kind of like
well,
turning it into new buildings.
Doing that out of college is not the same as like
because
what I think of is-
Brooklyn became Manhattan right when I left.
Yeah.
It like Williamsburg became Manhattan, and when I first was there, it was like kind of a dump.
Yeah, like you got to put up with it.
Yeah,
It's like Hell's Kitchen. Like it's now. I mean,
where did you live in New York when you lived in New York?
I lived in Queens, which I think.
Astoria.
Yep, it's exactly the same. I
lived
lived at
in
the
Astoria for a
very
little while.
end of the Dip. I lived at the Ditmar stop on the
Yeah.
N train, which was all the way at the. Good thing was there's no confusion of when to get off. If you gave somebody
This is the last stop.
directions, when the train stops and they say everybody get out, that's the right stop to get off.
You ever fall asleep on the train and like end up someplace else?
No, because I lived at the end of the.
Well, I did though. But when I quit Adult Swim and I moved to New York to become a musician full time, I crashed with two buddies who lived in an apartment in Astoria, and it was a great time because I would drink tall screwdrivers and watch like Taxi and Cheers until like 6 a.m. getting drunk out of my mind.
So basically, you'd like fall asleep at 6 a.m.
I remember one time I was like on the driveway lying on my back. and
Just the neighbors walking back, hello, good
and the
morning.
guys were on their way to work, and I was like, "Hey, Johnny."
And what did they do?
Well, I think they tolerated me, but I think there was a certain point where there was like a punk rock compilation that came out, and one of the songs was "Real Rappers Pay Rent," and I took that as a subtle hint.
I meant, what did they
do for a living?
Yeah,
I don't know. They were just responsible guys who had like business jobs that they got through family members.
How did you meet them?
Well, I was involved in like this punk rock scene in New York City, and so all the bands were friends. It's called New York Pop Punk. And so when I lived in Jersey City, we'd have shows in the basement. 12 bands would play. When bands toured, they'd sleep at our house. And so all the bands, and we'd meet them because they would be on the same label that was like out of the Northwest.
And these guys you lived with were in punk bands also?
They were in punk bands, yeah. So that's how,
Got it.
when I first started making MC Chris music, it was on 8 tracks that punk bands were using. And then one day they decided they wanted to make a rap song. And I would come home from Film Forum and I'd find on my answering machine, "Hey, Chris, we made a beat for you. Come on over." And I'd buy a Colt 45 40 ounce and write a song while I drank and record it on the 8 track. And that's when I first started becoming this like rapper.
I see.
But yeah, they were all in punk bands and they were all my friends. And that's how I learned how to perform and record and make songs.
But these guys were also punk. Some of your punk friends.
Yeah, punks always help each other out. Like if you were on tour and you did a show, you could go sleep at one of their houses and then you would do the dishes. You'd clean the house. It was a very kind of
Earning your keep.
communistic or co-op
Grass,
vibe.
ass, or gas. Nobody rides for free.
Yeah, I
The
had
classic bumper
to
sticker.
serve up a lot of ass.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like this kind of national community of guys, and they're all really nice, and they all accepted me, and I could rap. If somebody broke a string during a show, I could go up on stage and rap at like CBGBs, and that's kind of where I came from.
Interesting.
But I love drinking these screwdrivers and watching old TV from the 80s.
We were talking
It's
about
like when
this.
DVDs box sets kind of first started coming out, like
the
2000,
heyday.
2005.
When Adult Swim had that cash rolling in because they were selling those DVDs, all of a sudden was making 4 times what.
It was the heyday
Yeah.
because they had to come up with those things. Like I remember each time one would come out, we'd get so excited, and then in the merch closet there would be tons of them.
Mm-hmm. Some of those
Sold
are
all
worth
those.
a lot of money.
Sold all those, like $100 a pop.
I think the most expensive one is the 12-ounce mouse. It's like quadruple what any of the other ones could be sold for.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
On that note, look for your 12-ounce mouse DVDs.
But the reason I bring that up is because
Bring which up?
bring up the end. But I wanted to talk about the guy made that art of Master Shake getting eaten by MCP pants. So he posted that on Reddit, and we got our first negative reviews. And I have never seen negative reviews of this show yet.
What was the review
I
about?
thought you would be intrigued.
Wasn't enough aquatine.
Yeah. Well, it was an Adult Swim thread on Reddit. So, of course, guess what they want?
Yeah.
More Adult Swim.
Well.
And they're like, I try to listen to it. These guys just drone on and on about nothing for an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's by design.
Yeah. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
What I love to do is when I find a thread like this, is I just immediately start replying to everybody and talking to them rationally and not in an angry way or in a confrontational way. I'm like, well, this is what we're going for. And because they're like, we want to hear why Adult Swim sucks. And we want you, like you, Chris and Andy have talked about what a horrible experience it was for them. We want to hear more of this shit. And I'm like, well, we're not here to cancel anybody. We're not here to shit talk like this block of entertainment that has provided us with infinite opportunities. And, and we just kind of want to have something that's not so dark. And, so there's like no grievances, no complaining, no whining about this, that, and the other thing. Because I have been in an angry place in the past, but these days I'm pretty laid back and chill about the whole thing, like.
I mean, it's not going to.
The further you get away,
the
further you get away from trauma, the less it's like fucking with your head. And now I'm just kind of like, I'm happy that I was in these things. I'm happy that I was in C-Lab. And there's this trend now where it's just like, let's destroy everything. Anything we've loved, let's destroy the pedestal because like we were fools or we were ignorant of the fact that it was a corporation making entertainment or like let's destroy it because I was a kid and I didn't know and now I'm a grown up and I want to talk about how bad it is, but I'm just like, that's not fun. And I see other podcasts doing this. I saw this lady, she's like, I was on this movie with Ken Jeong and he was an asshole and like let's talk shit about this bad VO. Like I see other VO actors on podcasts bitching about people. And I'm like, man, I just don't think that's cool. And I look at how many likes it has. It's got like 5,000 likes. And
is that good or bad?
No, yeah. So many people love shit talk.
Trash talking.
They love trash talking. They love drama. They love all this stuff. And I'm like, I think I'm going to be okay with being what this is and having it may not be controversial or attention getting or.
Here's the thing.
It just is what it is because it's really just about two people talking about life.
Bitch about one subject bottomlessly.
Well, a lot of these podcasts, like that's what they do, and they're really popular because of it. But it's like one of those things. Just like, am I willing to conform? And I always say to myself, had I conformed at any point in my career, none of this cool shit would have happened. None of the music would have happened. None of the cartoons would have happened. I was always seeking out the different route.
Yeah. I mean, well,
but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot of negativity.
I get it.
There are a lot of people that, there are so many people that are like, this sounds like I'm hanging out with two friends.
Also on Reddit is it different than like writing a review on.
It's a grumpy grandpa porch.
And also like having it's slightly disingenuous having a picture of Master Shake and MCP pants on the front because we don't really talk about the show.
No, but I mean, you can't deny the fact that that's how we're connected, and that's where we come from.
But if 10 people were but I think people are going to expect this to be a traditional VO actor podcast thing where we rip apart the industry and we talk about the reality industry. And what I'm interested in personally is like, how did the guy who does the voice of Goofy or the voice of Mario, like who were they? How do they become these guys? You're like a lot into origin stories.
Yeah, I want to investigate how these people become who they are because I think it's really interesting, and it never gets talked about because they go to a con. And it's just like, what's your favorite episode of the show you did, or what's your favorite line? I mean, I see like the whole cast of Rick and Morty being like, this is the craziest line I can think of, and this is the craziest line I can think of, and I'm just like, this is falling flat for me. Or Simpsons, like. The Simpson voices will be on stage, and I'll be like, "Oh, these guys aren't as funny without the writers."
Yeah, it's like it's doing voiceover stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think it's like that's not how you should do this. I mean, Critical Role is smart, and that they're VO people, but they're doing something else that has nothing to do with what they do. You get to see them hang out and have fun.
You see their personality.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the most successful panels at Comic-Cons or whatever. or where you get to see their personality, not asking them questions about stuff they do, which honestly, probably half of them don't even watch it because they're not narcissists and want to sit there and watch their own body of work all the time. Like, you think whatever I think really honestly gives a shit about what his favorite line of Homer Simpson is?
I mean, what people are connecting to, and this is why I think interesting voiceover actors is so much more important than hiring somebody because of their resume, is because the audience is connecting with something about that person. They're connecting with not just Master Shake, but they're connecting with Dana. And it's not just MCP Pants, they're connecting with Chris. And I feel like, well, let's explore that relationship a little bit because that's what's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're done.
Goodbye.
You're done. I can tell when you stop looking at me and you start looking at your fingers or your phone, you don't want to be here anymore.
I have these, no, that's not true. I have these problem on my knuckles we can talk about another time.
From dragging them?
I guess so.
Like the monkey man you are?
Don't get me too. I'm Italian, okay?
I thought you were German.
It's Italian people.
Are you a mutt?
I'm half Italian.
Half German, half Italian?
No, the German part is like English, Irish, German. Pennsylvania Dutch.
I'm like 25% Alsatian. Alsace-Lorraine. You ever heard of it? Little country in France where champagne comes from.
I thought it came from Champagne.
The hell you say?
The Champagne region.
Well, yeah. It must be the Champagne region. I don't know. But I mean, that's what I was told as a kid.
Oh.
This is where champagne comes from. But I was obviously lied to. It's one of the many things I was lied to about.
Well, maybe it's the Champagne region of Alsace.
But it becomes a really cute little Christmas town every Christmas. I want to go for Christmas.
Have you ever been there ever?
No. I've been to Ireland, but I haven't been to County Cork or County Limerick, which are the counties that I think my family is supposed to be from.
Oh.
I think those are cities.
Limerick, well, maybe they're both.
Yeah.
They might call it like New York, like we're in Los Angeles County in the city of Los Angeles.
I went to Dublin and it's like, it was a weird experience because and there was a guy who like drove me around the whole time. And I think he was just like a con artist and the hotel kind of hooked me up with. But he's kissing my ass the whole time. And I got the whole idea of Blarney.
Oh, there you go.
And that I'm like, this is the most disingenuous place I've ever been in my life. It's actually famous for
they invented bullshit.
Yeah, for not being real. So if you ever hang out with Kevin Smith, or you talk to Kevin Smith, he's a very Irish guy.
Yeah.
But he's kissing your ass the whole time. Who knows how he feels about you? But he's very Irish.
Not the director of Clerks.
Yes, Clerks.
He's the guy who's kissing your ass the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there
he's
you
like,
go.
MC Chris is on the show today. He's a genius.
Oh, this was not in Ireland. I thought you said...
Me and Kevin Smith travel the world together.
Okay.
I think everybody would pay money to see that.
I do know there was a brief time you almost did the theme song for a Kevin Smith show.
I've done several for him.
Oh.
Yeah. I just did one for his last tour in February.
I was talking about his show, TV show.
Oh,
spoilers.
No.
No, I know you didn't, but I thought
didn't do that gig.
They're almost. Whoa. What was that one?
It was me just breathing in and a blob of mucus is dislodged and goes down my throat and then in the wrong pipe.
The virus
then I
begins.
And I choke on it. I'm choking on a blob of phlegm at the end of my podcast.
That sounded like a British colonel going, I say, the start of one of those.
'Twas not I was in the conservatory.
Commander McBragg or Colonel Mustard.
Is Clue a fun game?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
It's fun. It's fun with multiple people. Like, not just with one other person, because you have 50% of the cards and they have 50% of the cards. What's more fun is when you're playing with,
Do you play board games with your family?
My wife does not like playing board games. My daughter does. But still, even in a house of three, there's only so many games that are fun to play. We like to play Poetry for Neanderthals. That's a game we like playing now.
I'm waiting for this day when my kid's like, I don't want to be online anymore, and I want to hang out with you and play board games.
That day will never happen. I try to do that with my daughter, and it's just she plays them to a point, but then after a certain minute, she's just done.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never
My son is done before I'm done reading the rules.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. And a lot of these games I get now, I think they're going to be fun, but like the rule setup is too complex. Yeah. She does like, what's it called? Taco Cat Pizza Cheese or something like that.
Stupid.
Very simple, very fun to play. Recommended. I don't know the name of it. It's just a deck of cards.
Yeah.
But they're specialized cards.
That's why I kind of like the blackout.
What's that one?
We had a blackout, during the fire. We had like 3 days no electricity. Yeah. And I was like, they got board games.
We do have we don't have light.
Could do it by candlelight.
Okay. Yeah, but you remember when Grandma's house burned down? And that lady upstairs with the Pink Floyd table who
I love candles.
Burned it down with incense.
It's a good gift for me. It's a candle.
Scented candle.
Yeah. What other kind of candle is there?
Regular candle.
Don't give me a regular candle. What kind of boring gift giver are you giving a regular candle?
You're the one who's asking for candles. Like emergency candles, birthday candles.
I don't need emergency. Who needs
all kind of candles?
Who says, "Oh, you know what I want for my birthday? Emergency candles."
The guy who just wants to play. The guy who wants to play.
I have a fart inside of me. I'm holding it.
Clue by candlelight. You need lighting candles, not these decorative stinker candles.
Smell of lilac isn't going to help the mood.
It's not gonna help you figure out who was killed in the hallway with the candlestick.
I love lilac and jasmine.
Oh. Interesting.
What scents do you like?
I like all those ones that are like ocean breeze. Like that sounds kind of like just like smell more like
fish
like
and
clean, oil. Linen, kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
Like you're at a seaside resort.
I like those winsome candles that are like no regrets.
Oh, I do like also like the manly ones. That's manly as a scented kid, like sandalwood. All the Caswell and Massey, all their scents I like.
Nuclear era garage.
Yeah. Bourbon. I think adults, I found that too.
Biker toilet.
They had a candle a little while that was like, that they gave for Christmas one year that was like bourbon and wood or some weird macho kind of.
I love candles that smell like fire. Like they have
fireplace. Liquid smoke.
Fireplace or campfire.
Yeah.
Bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
This has been good.
Goodbye again.
This is healing.
We're all a little closer, except for that guy.
Now, please get away from me.
Who hates we didn't talk shit about Adult Swim.
Yeah, this one goes out to you, buddy.
Sorry, pal. Listen, life sucks. Lesson number 6 for you. Not everything is what you want it to be.
Yeah. Have fun on Reddit.
Yeah. Join the club. Take a number.
Hey, this is MC Chris here again to tell you to go to mcchris.com to check out my tour dates for this summer. Tickets and info, everything you're going to need is right there at mcchris.com. 45 shows going everywhere. If we're not coming to your town, let me know. Or if you're a venue who wants to have a show on a day I have a day off, write me at mcchrisbooking@gmail.com. Go to mcchris.com and go check out my tour dates for my big celebrating 20 years of touring tour this summer. I hope I see you out there. Thank you so much for letting me do this for 20 years. That's crazy. I never thought I would hold a job for that long, but you've let me do just that. So I hope to see you out there. Go to mcchris.com and check it out. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye.